Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the 3 new collections that have just been added to Strata as of the end of November 2022, which is the Animal Wild, Animal Domestic, and the Doors collection. So jumping right into it, let's take a look at Animal Wild to begin with. So here I have the main project file open. So there's quite a bit of material here, not only in terms of the variety of these animal assets, but also some of the material inside of the sub projects that actually is kind of building some of the variations of these sounds. So maybe we just go ahead with the Seal project. All right. But one thing I'm going to point out here, if I take a look at the region marker manager, to actually get a sense of what types of takes are inside of all of these, they all sort of have a very similar format. So they all include different types of sort of emotional states of the creatures. So for example, we have the alerted. So if I'm listening to the Seal, those are the first few that we just heard there. Then there's some attack variations. Death. Idling. All right. And then there's a pain variation. So each of these animals kind of follows the same structure. So if you're trying to combine the sound of multiple sources together, you can actually do quite a bit because you can always count on there being a pain variation for every single type. So if you're kind of concocting some sort of creature design, it's pretty easy to mix and match material from even inside of these sub-projects, which I kind of am able to demonstrate a little bit today. Kind of taking a listen to some more of these just to get an overall sense. Here's the monkey. Maybe we go with the death sounds here. Right. Let's hear the alerted gorilla sounds. Maybe some of the attack sounds are probably pretty good. All right. So, each one of these has these attack, death, idle, pain, and then alerted sort of sound variations going on here. So one thing I'll definitely say as far as some of these sub-projects, the number of tracks that are in here and the amount of source material is really caught me by surprise. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of interactivity in the effects chains. There is a considerable amount of versatility if you're trying to automate things. It's really impressive actually how much is going on to have these layers interact together. So I have the effects chains turned off just so we can actually listen to the material. I tried on a couple different machines and I was just getting some stuttering when I was trying to play it back for you. So having a look here at the attack variation, human tongue stutter. Let's see, we can give a listen and see what that sounds like. Right, kind of interesting. So there's a hiss short group. A vulture growl. So some of these reptile sounds are actually some source material from birds. It's a grunt, hiss, airburst, caracal, hiss, snarl. That's a pretty cool sound right there, that layer. That's actually from some sort of cat. All right, so putting those all together gives us our attack variations. So again, there is some effects processing going on with a lot of these, but kind of can still get an overall idea about the construction of these layers. So it's definitely something you'll probably want to consider if you're saving and making your own versions of some of these sub-projects, is probably eliminating some of the tracks in here that aren't actually part of, whatever it is you're working on, so you can have a little bit of an easier time playing the project back. Back in the main project, we'll go ahead and open up the aquatic seal. Just go ahead and take a listen to some of the death sounds and take a look at the layers that are contained within that, since there's the most sort of going on. All right. Just going to add them one by one. That could be interesting. And there's the call. There's even a human burp kind of in there. Kind of interesting. Tube water gurgle. Interesting. So again, this is just a really good opportunity to point out how much great source material is in here for designing, you know, a variety of different pieces of material. So maybe I take out like all these barking sounds. Maybe let's mute those. So there's just so much you can play around with and really create a version of this is all your own, so to speak. Okay, so I guess that should about do it for the Animal Wild collection. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. That way you can see the new videos as they come out and be aware of any new collections that are released.